everybody. Welcome back to Can You Put Me On Guest List. This week's episode is with a well-known figure in the music industry and Ibiza's clubbing scene. He's the co-founder and director of forward-thinking party promoters Game Over. Today, my chat is with Eóin Smyth. Arriving in Ibiza from Dublin at the age of just 20, Eóin's first job on the island was with Dance Trippin TV, and later on went on to working with the Carl Cox team at Space, where he eventually became head of marketing and operations. After the end of Carl Cox at Space in 2016, which I can't believe that was 3 years ago already, that's crazy, so sad. After that, he launched a Game Over with business partner Dave Browning. Fast forward to 2019, and Game Over are, as we talk about in this podcast, well and truly like the baseline of Ibiza, having hosted lots of different events such as One Night Stand, Pure Carl Cox, Wildchild, and many more at some of the island's most influential venues like DC10, Amnesia, Privilege, and Heart. So in this chat, we talk about what brought him to the island, the good old days of Carl Cox at Space Ibiza and what his roles were during that time there, the beginning of Game Over, One Night Stand, which was the first party brand to tour Ibiza in the same season and how that worked, the future of the island, and much more.
There still has to be that ground level, as we say, the baseline, because if that's not there, this VIP spending, they're not going to come.
Yeah.
You know, so no one can ever forget where the roots of it is. Like, why do people come here in the first place?
Eóin is always so interesting to chat with, as he really knows the ins and outs of how Ibiza's nightlife works and what's needed on the island after working on some of the biggest events in Ibiza. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and please remember to subscribe and share. Enjoy. Hello.
Hello there.
How are you?
All good. Thank you very much.
How has the end of summer, beginning of winter been for you? It's been
The summer hasn't ended. It was it's just blended into one.
Has
so
it?
we've much more events than we thought that we would. I think we've had an event nearly every week since Wildchild closing on the 28th of September. So in need of a holiday soon.
I can imagine. So I want to start off just by talking about your beginnings here in Ibiza. So what made you come to Ibiza, and when did you come for the first time?
Okay, that's a long story. I'll keep it short. So, first came in 2007, but that was built up for years and years and years and years. I'm going to Ibiza. Most kids, you know, what do you want to do when you're older? I say, so yeah, I'm going to Ibiza. So
don't know what to do, just go into Ibiza.
From an early age, I was absolutely besotted with the industry, besotted with clubbing, into everything that I could get my hands on, from Sasha Digweed to hard house to trance to whatever. So in Dublin, I didn't really have a lot of opportunity to go out dancing until I was like 16, got to God's Kitchen. God's Kitchen blew my head off. I was like, right, I need to be in this, like it's somewhere or another. And then fast forward 2007, and I just said, right, me and the boys came over for a week's holiday, blew my head off, met some people on the beach saying, you know, what do you do? How do you live here? Or, like, how do you live here? What are you doing? They were working for Beach Palace, I think it was, which was like what was Beach Palace? It's like Tantra. So I was like, they were selling tickets and whatever in Tantra, and I was like, just looking at the lifestyle they had, I was like, this is nuts. I need a bit of that. Like, yeah, done. So ended up getting in contact with them, and then the following year, 2008, I'd planned to come over and get stuck in, and 2008 then I came in May. So me and my friends have been running a party called Get Music in Dublin. We had Gregor Tresher in Dublin the 23rd, and I flew to Ibiza straight after the party on the 24th, and I've been doing the same since.
Things never change.
Yeah, and that was it. I just got stuck in from the get-go, met Will Johnson from Dance Trippin, like I told you earlier on, and started doing some video work with them, you know, in and out of Privilege, gave me a camera, get into Privilege, recording the DJ booth, and 19-year-old me was just absolutely blown away by all of this.
That's a great job to
that was
first job in Ibiza.
Pretty nuts, but as I said, it didn't last very long considering I have a shaky hand, so I don't think they could use too much of that footage. And then from there, met Dave Browning, my current partner, and Dave was heading up Space for the past, well, that was 2008, so they've been going since 2001 at that stage. and just started from the ground up. I went in, bowlers, brass, Irish boy. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I run parties in Dublin, blah, 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 blah. Spoof Central.
You blabbed your way
and
through.
Yeah. 12 years later, me and Dave working together, yeah.
So when you were at Space, when you were working, Carl Cox at Space, what roles did you have there during that time?
So started off as, run-of-the-mill PR, a white pasty Irish boy, up and down the streets of Playa Bossa, just learning Spanish, getting people in, and just really getting stuck into everything that we could then. Things were different back then. There wasn't as many PRs on the street. It was like Playa Bossa was purely German, French, Italian and Spanish. There wasn't even many Brits. So for me being there, I think in the Playa Bossa kind of workers connect there was me, my mate who had come over with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and maybe 2 or 3 other British, and that was it.
Really?
There was like nobody else. So if you were looking on the streets, there was like 10 of us, say, proper PRing for Space, and it wasn't a big team. So you really got to know everyone, and then from that, the next year we were doing something different. We had Carl Cox and we had Come Together, which was another party at Space. So started as the PR manager for that, and then that role just kind of snowballed as the scene snowballed and everything else snowballed. So social media became a massive part of it. The guerrilla marketing tactics that Carl Cox was known for, like we were a massive part of that. So yeah, it kind of rolled into everything. And it just at the end of 2016, it was myself and Dave heading it up, and then we had a team of like 20, 30 people working for us.
So you were like head of
head of marketing and operations on the night, and then Dave was like the head promoter, and then Safe House was the team who actually ran everything from London. So Lynn was Carl's manager, and they got the ball rolling. So we were just the operations team. We made it happen.
You made it.
Sparkled a bit of shit on top of it.
So you basically you've done you've played a lot of different roles. So you must have just learned everything.
Yeah,
from
that was my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Most people go to university, whatever. I did marketing in college and absolutely learned nothing from that. Which is why I knew as soon as I got into this industry in any way, shape or form, I was just going to lap it up like a sponge, which I did. So
yeah. That's a lot of people ask actually, like, what things do you think I should study to get into this industry? You've just got to kind of just get your hands dirty, get in it, haven't you?
I do think, like if you can study something that's going to be related to, whether that's business management or something, in terms of finance. If you're going to do something that you're going to use, but at the same time you need to be grafting.
Yeah.
Absolute grafting, and meet everybody. Anytime we've done a couple of different seminars or whatever, and people always asking, how do we get in it? Just get in it. Just do whatever. Yeah. Like, even if you're from a small little town, doesn't matter where, there's always going to be someone like you that's into it. Like for me, I have a massive group of my original cronies, like my friends that I grew up with. I'm the only one who likes dance music and things. Literally, I'm going to a wedding next week. Not one of them will like dance music.
Aww.
Like I said, they haven't a clue what I do, which is perfect.
He's just over there.
He's just in Ibiza. Yeah, that's it. Like, done.
So obviously, Tuesdays, Carl Cox at Space was...
Rest in peace.
Oh, I know. Good time. It was one of the biggest nights on the island.
Ridiculous.
What would a day on a Tuesday look like for you? Because you must have been so bloody busy.
Yeah, we got it to a T at the end, but yeah, we're still busy. So, get up, myself and Dave, go meet for a coffee in the sports cafe. Traditionally, across the road, everyone started coming in, just making sure that everything was leveled out on the street, that all the poster teams had gone out and they were doing their thing. All the posters of the following week were up in the club. Just the little niggly bits that you don't think about, that they made all the difference. So it was just like, it was always about what's going to happen the following week. So once that was nailed, it was going in, looking at the production, making sure everything was hung, all the guys were happy. Then we'd have our team meetings in the early mornings where all the PRs would come in from San Antonio, Playa Bossa, wherever else they were going, and like a proper family vibe, because everyone that was working on the Carl Cox crew had been there really from the start. There was me and G, I don't know if you met G, the poster guy.
No, I
El Magico G. And if anyone's listening, I'm sure they know who he is. So like, it was us two had been there since 2008, and then we'd kind of built that team from then, along with another guy, Marlon. And so when they'd all come in, drinks, scarebass, get everything roiling up, and then off they went, and they'd go and absolutely smash the granny out of the streets, and then the guest list started to come in. So that was absolutely nuts. But just, getting the riders ready, making sure the lights and stuff are all good, just
all the little bits.
The little bits that made that night amazing and what it was, and the artists that coming through, making sure that everything was happy for them. We'd have like an idea of, okay, what way will the video be that night, and those type of things. And then doors used to open at 8 o'clock. So Dave would go home, he'd have a little chill. I'd be sitting down the guest list. I'd go home, he'd come back, and then we'd meet about 7:30, 8, and then doors are open on the Sunset Terrace, and off we go.
And
Party
that's it.
started. Let's go.
Nice. So now let's talk about the beginning of Game Over. So the morning of the 21st of September 2016, after the closing of Carl Cox 15-year residency at Space Ibiza, Game Over launched with the huge after party that was at Benny Musa Park. You must have had so many mixed emotions that day. So from the night before, it's the end of something that's been absolutely incredible here on the island, to all of a sudden starting what's going to be a new journey for you. How did you feel that day?
Yeah, that was a bit crazy because we'd never really done a lot of after parties, just because, after parties, Cocoon did after parties and they did them really well, whereas we were very much, let's just do what we're really good at and then stop. And then we'd been thinking, like, in the September, like, we need to do something huge for this. Like, it's the closing. Like, of course, everyone's going to want to dance. And I don't know whether you remember Oliver Gutierrez, the security guy? He used to do BPM as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Oliver's tattoo?
No.
Right, so a couple of weeks previous, we'd been saying, right, we're going to do this after party. And I was like, right, we need a name. What are we going to call it? I was like, it's just an after party. I was like, it can't. We need to have a name. So we're coming up, and then I'm in the DJ booth in Space at the end of, like, maybe the penultimate week of Carl Cox, and Oliver comes up. He just got a new tattoo on his hands, and he went to go give me a dig to the face, like pretending, and it read Game Over on his fists.
No.
So that's where the name comes from.
That was going to be one of my next questions.
Literally, me and Dave looking at each other. I was like, did you see his hands? Yeah, right, that's it, done. And I told him, right, man, I'm really sorry, but we're going to use your fist as the name for the after party.
And then that's also like
so that's the logo, like, So that's, it just made sense. Game Over, question mark. Is it over? Is it not over? What's happening? So then that morning, we didn't do any promo for it. So it was just word of mouth. And it was like, I think one of the first times that something had sold out. Everybody asking for tickets, everybody asking what's going on, like, our heads in the clouds because we've just finished, like you say, super emotional from Carl Cox, but knowing that we're just about to embark on something different. It was just, it was amazing, because we knew, okay, we can't finish yet. Like this, yes, the residency at Space is finished. That's part of the history now, but we need to crack on. So we didn't really know what way we were going to be going forward, but
you just thought, we'll do this first event and then
do
see
this
what
now.
goes on.
See what's going on. We knew that there was a lot of things in the pipeline. We'd gone to see Privilege previous because we knew that we wanted to maybe do something the following year, but so an epic day, to say the least.
Oh, I know. So since then, you've now done One Night Stand, Pure Carl Cox, Wildchild, which I love.
A few different bits.
Lift, which is your Ibiza.
Lift is the winter series,
Am I missing anything?
Lift. What else do we have? We've Game Over Records. We've started after that actual party. The after party was Game Over presents If You Know, You Know.
Oh, yeah.
So If You Know, You Know, we actually did a series of events, we didn't release the lineups because it worked so well that day. Yeah, we do a lot. So like we have our Game Over like events, and then Fanfare is a Spanish entity. That's where we run our operations from, which is how we do Resistance, we do Shadows, we do a lot of different things. So when people need events on the island, they seem to come to us and we'll just try crack on and do them.
But like in 3 years, you guys have done a lot.
Yeah.
For 3 years.
A lot of brands for some reason.
And you've like done parties at the biggest and most popular clubs on the island. You've also always have like a strong marketing campaign behind them, always good music. So when you are going to launch something new, what's kind of like your creative process behind it? Bearing in mind that there are so many events happening on the island.
Yeah, because we know musically where we want to be. We know musically what works, and we know what the competition is. So like for us nowadays, having Carl is amazing. Carl's headed up Pure Carl Cox. He's like, the main headliner at DC10 when we do those shows. But it also gives us an opportunity with Carl to be able to bring new people up through the ranks and like give them a platform that they've never had a platform before, which doesn't really happen that much anymore. When you're looking at the big clubs who are here now, they have the power to book the biggest DJs and whatever else, which a lot of people want to see, but there's also that kind of the proper musos, the ones that feel it like we feel it, proper ravers that want to go and see, Enzo or see whoever in various clubs, that there's not really that opportunity anymore to see them here.
Yeah.
So at least if we keep that, like we're the baseline of Ibiza, try to keep it alive, keep the scene alive, that kind of stuff. So that's where we start off. And then dependent on like what kind of direction we're going in. So Wildchild we did last year was, we knew that we were going to be doing something in Heart. So we built that specifically for Heart. Something a little bit more chic, a little bit more, accessible. Not your just four to the floor house of techno. So, and that's, everyone's loved it because it's been so much different stuff, like from garage to house to the Chicago house to New York to French, whatever. And now
it's been refreshing.
Yeah, it's for us as well. I've so many different styles of music that we like, and if we can slot them into different places, why not?
Yeah.
So I'm cover that sheet in front of me. I have some more plans for next year. But this is essentially how we do it. Just get an idea, maybe have a name, try and work out the marketing behind it, or what we want it to be, like what's it about, why are we doing it?
Yeah.
And we start from there.
Yeah.
So we're right in the middle of that bit at the moment, just like why, what are we going to do next year and why? And if the why doesn't work, well then we change it up.
I love that though, that you said you're like the baseline of Ibiza, like to keep things going, because you are. Someone, I can't remember what it was me and Dave on pure Carl Cox when we were walking the streets of San Antonio. Like it was the Monday beforehand, the Monday night before the first pure Carl Cox, and we're walking the back arse of Cala de Bow, and we bumped into Jason Boy. And Jason Boy was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he just said this phrase that really sticks out, and we use it. We're the last of the old school. The last of the old school.
And I'd like, Dave is definitely the last of the old school. But that resonates in what we do. It's really trying to push it and represent the scene that doesn't really get represented as much as it did.
Yeah. So One Night Stand.
Yes.
So One Night Stand was the first party brand to tour Ibiza in one season. So you did DC10, Amnesia and Privilege.
Political mess.
Wow. I remember, I was working at Amnesia at the time, and I remember when we first got the promo video in, and there was people at Amnesia like, we don't want to be posting that if it's got DC10's logo on it, if it's got Privilege. But like, it was actually such a great idea. It was like, we're doing what we want to do. We're not just doing it because that's like what the clubs want to do, it was like breaking barriers, breaking boundaries. How did people react to that at the beginning?
As you said, it was a bold move, and when we tried to explain the concept to each, they initially didn't get it. No, why would we not get 4 dates? Or why don't you just do it here? Or why don't you just do it there? But it just defeated the purpose. Carl had, he'd done 15 years at Space. He was associated there. He'd done the 2 at Privilege, and never really got a chance to do something himself where he's moving around the island unless was playing for another party. So it just made it work. And when we were speaking to agents and whatever else, they were all over it. So, and we got the best of it. We got to do Pasha. We'd already done Privilege. We had Amnesia, which was incredible, and DC10. So 3 of the best.
Hard to set up with the clubs.
You were part of that process, so it was quite easy. It was cool. Like, I think some didn't really jump on board as much as others did, but that's just the way they are, And I think for the punters and clubbers that were there, each event brought a different element to it. Like, so the DC10 one was really where we showed off the underground and the new talent that we booked, and how we actually went about booking the talent for the DC10 show was incredible as well. Like, we went to ADE, we went to a couple of parties at ADE, who'd everyone been talking about, and went into this place, Brett. I don't know whether you heard of Brett before.
Yes.
You heard of Brett? Have you been to?
Yes.
Oh, you've been to Brett. So we were in Brett for 13 hours. We said, right, we leave when there's a bad track. No bad tracks got played, and the lads who were on in that 2-hour period that we can't really remember was they turned out to be Spoken, and Spoken actually then ended up warming up Coxie at DC10. So
amazing.
we like to do it like that, just probably organic and solely for the music. So.
Yeah. No, it was so nice. Like, it was just, again, it was like refreshing. It was something new, and it was just like, as you said, a really bold statement. Like, we can do this. We're not just going to do it.
It's a lot easier to go and do something else.
Like,
so we're probably stupid in that sense. We make things difficult for ourselves, but if we don't, well, there's no fun in it then,
Yeah. Do you think that promoting parties in Ibiza has got easier, or is it getting harder as the years go by?
Definitely getting harder.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely getting harder. There's, everybody wants to do a party in Ibiza before, acts in terms of DJs where they'd be happy to come and play for parties. Every DJ wants to have their own party now, so there's so many more brands doing it, and the exclusivity type of thing where that you'd go. Before, when I first came, it was like you didn't even call the days of the week. You'd say, right, it's Monday, right, it's Cocoon, it's Carl Cox. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays was Monza, Fridays was day off or after party, and then you knew exactly where you're going. Now there's just so much on, so much, but there's seems to be a lot more people coming. So if we can just deliver what we say we're going to deliver, and there's a market for it, and we're trying to bring that, the people who are, they can go to Romania super cheap, they can go to Croatia super cheap, so it's getting harder as well. Like the finances are getting, to put on a party's going up and up and up, so it just all needs to make sense for everyone. So yeah.
I know this is quite a hard question, but because you are very forward thinking, what do you think the future is of Ibiza's clubbing scene?
I think everything's going to start balancing out now. Like, there's obviously rumours going around for a lot of changes this year, or next year. We'll see whether that happens or not. But there's a place for everybody here. The money that's come in from the bigger clubs, which we won't name, that's put a massive professional level on things. So they're slick operations, huge budgets, know exactly what they're doing, and turn it into a massive business, which is only a benefit for the island if we're going to move forward. People like us who are living and working in this, it's fantastic. There still has to be that ground level, as we say, the baseline, because if that's not there, this VIP spending, they're not going to come. So no one can ever forget where the roots of it is. Like, why do people come here in the first place? Ibiza has that, the magical place, this magical rock. Everyone wants to come over here, party, open-mindedness, whatever. If that's missing and it's solely for the money and everything else, it's going to change. Yeah. So you still want that, you want the reason to come here. Yeah. So yeah, I can see it. It will definitely just ease out. So things will balance it out,
Yeah. What advice would you give someone that would want to have their own party in Ibiza in the future?
Come to us. No. In all fairness, there's just so many people who really know what they're doing, and have these amazing ideas that are tapping into what's current and fresh at the moment. Stuff like the Stormzy Festival is opening up to a market that wasn't really here before, but there's a demand for it. So why not? Things are changing. The sound is changing. Stuff like Will Moon. Incredible. So if you have something if you really have something that's going to be different, come see the place, because we've also seen a lot of people get burned in the past couple of years. People coming in from wherever thinking, right, it's Ibiza, I'm just going to do another party for my brand or whatever. It can ruin you as well. And it can ruin a lot of DJs because they'll put their name to something that might not be successful because they need to be here or whatever else. It's a difficult place.
Difficult one. But you're based here all year round, here in winter. How many winters?
No, Dublin and here, yeah.
How many winters have you been?
This is my fifth winter. And fifth winter full time.
There's a lot that's going on in Ibiza.
Yeah, it's crazy at the moment. As I said, we've done a party nearly every week since the summer finished. Yeah. So we're in Leo for Lift, and then we're doing game over shows in Octon. And whatever else comes our way.
I was only going to go for one drink to Octon on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
you just got home now, yeah?
Yeah, literally a couple of hours ago, straight here. I couldn't believe how busy it was.
Yeah, it's good.
The whole of the island. Everyone I didn't see over summer, I saw on Wednesday.
Proper party people.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit as well of the winter, because you really do. It's your time to chill, and you can go out and you can really enjoy yourself. Yeah. Because the summer, we're all in it.
Yeah,
working.
Exactly.
Although I did see a few times Wildchild.
Yeah. Only a few times. So I always ask everyone at the end of the podcast if they can give a guest list rule, because the podcast is, can you put me on guest list? So I'm sure that you could come up with a few.
The guest list rule. There's always a guest list. You can always get in a guest list. Be nice. But if you're going to send it, please send a name in advance. Don't ask and then send the name, because that's just been nice. If you're going to do it, send me the names and then I'll tell you yes or no.
Yeah.
And that should be the same for everybody. And if you're sending names on a WhatsApp, whatever, put them all under each other.
Oh, how annoying is that? Copy paste.
Can you send them in a different one? Yeah, but other than that, easy.
I
We
love
like
that.
guest list.
Yeah, it's true though, because some people are like, nope, there's definitely no guests for this party tonight. There's not going to be any.
Sometimes there's not, but if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Like you think of us when you're younger. If you wanted to go somewhere, you were getting in. Like that's it. Like that's why we're here now.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
And I'll see you around here in Ibiza.
Thank you very much.
Bye.